Hello and welcome to another episode of Study of X, the podcast where we discuss the Krakoan era of X-Men comics. I am your host, Tim, and with me as always is Sergio.
Hi, hello. Finally, time to X that sword.
Yeah, and Chris.
Actually, it's called Ten of Swords. You know, we've been doing it wrong this entire time, but we do have to go with the official Marvel.com.
It's X of Swords. I'm sorry, it's X of Swords.
It's finally time to tend that sword.
It's yep.
Yep. That's how it goes. That's how the saying goes.
So we have reached the end with Excalibur number 15 and X of Swords Destruction here. We did it. Not yet, but
basically did it. I mean, 22 issues of this whole collected story. I'm sad it's over, but it's a fun ride. I still really love this.
Yeah, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
I know.
Yeah,
there's so much to discuss.
We can't give the conclusion yet, but yeah. I kind of want to jump into it. Do you want to jump into it? No one.
No.
Okay.
I think we can sit on it. Maybe wait a little bit. Okay, now we can jump in.
Okay, yeah, okay. Excalibur number 15, take it away.
I'm sorry, it is called Excalibur.
Oh, right, my bad, because the 10 is in there. You are correct.
I hated that. I hated that. Okay.
But we're going to keep going with it anyway. So for E10 Caliber number 15, this is written by Tini Howard and was released in November of 2020. And the opening quote here by Saturnyne is very important with what's about to happen. She says, "Spellcasting is the art of directing magic with one's willpower. As such, magic is very eager to respond to the hearts of those in need. Mistake your desires for true desperation, and a spell will teach you a lesson. And magic is a harsh teacher."
Yeah, Saturnyne is very wise in imparting that lesson. I wonder who in this issue might need to learn that lesson.
Surely not her, as she is the wisest and ruler of the omniversal magistrix.
That is what she is, yes.
Also, I don't know if we noticed in our little page here telling us about the characters, death is crossed out yet now, so I guess we did make a mistake.
Yeah,
Yep.
I saw that. So interesting that it's happened twice now with different characters.
Yeah.
So, but just, minor mistakes.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, in the Starlight Citadel.
There are women running. Rill, the fish attendant to Saturnyne, is bringing a box full of shards into a room when she turns and looks out the window, and there's a lot of Amenthi demons outside. A lot of them.
So, yeah, I guess Annihilation took the not yielding thing to just, declare war. So, the Krakoa champions are now just fighting off a horde.
and horde's almost a bit of an understatement. It looks like they're back on that battlefield that was underneath the Starlight Citadel right before this entire tournament began.
They might be.
And it is, again, just covered in demons to the horizon.
Yeah.
They rushed in real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were just ready to go. They knew this was coming.
Our heroes here are in trouble, but the Apocalypse Annihilation duel has not quite yet ended.
Nope, and it looks like Genesis, having been weakened from the strike that Apocalypse dealt her, is no longer in control of herself at all. It seems to be that the Helm is now controlling her actions and her words.
Yeah. It's Annihilation's time.
Mm-hmm. And thankfully for Apocalypse, who seems pretty distraught by this, Storm comes in as she should and saves the day, as she always does. At least stunning Annihilation for a brief enough amount of time for the Krakoan mutants to regroup and come together and decide, hey, we need to figure out a plan here.
Yeah, Apocalypse doesn't react super positively to this. He's very much lashing out here, just saying he doesn't want to run. This is his wife. Cypher's response here I find very funny, him just saying, "I would totally run from my wife."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Cypher has fallen so hard. He is absolutely head over heels for Bay.
I find it very funny, the panel where it shows Annihilation getting sapped. It's like Pikachu thunder shocking.
Yeah, it's like, you get like the whole like skeleton.
You can see the bones a little bit. Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah,
it's a silly effect, but it's one of my favorites.
And it's effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is out of the fight at least long enough for them to get away.
Yeah.
And while that's going on, the Iraqi mutants are also gathered together, kind of discussing this chaos that has erupted. And, Pog he wants to go fight, everybody wants to get this done, but the White Sword has decided he's good. He won the thing he signed up for, this is too much, him and his 100 are gonna go home.
Specifically, this group here is Pog, Bay, War, Izka, and the White Sword. We know Redroot's been captured. We don't know where Solemn is.
No. Yeah, he is missing currently, although we did see him a little bit in the last issue. Or, no, that's coming ahead. Look at this. See, I'm already ahead of myself. I'm like, oh, we could talk about what happens.
Yeah, no. Not yet. But yeah. The White Sword just kind of bails.
Yep, and he doesn't really care what the others say about that. He's just gonna take his ball and go home.
Yeah,
and
he said not Thanos just says, I've had enough of this, I don't find much honor in it, we're going home. And, Bay also bolts.
Mm-hmm. Because, unfortunately, she is choosing love over war.
Yeah.
How sad. Maybe. We'll see.
I find this very interesting from White Sword. It's very consistent, I think, with his character, but he has been frequently portrayed as very honorable, kind of despite everything here, and I like this characterization of him a lot. I think it's very interesting compared to just some of the other Iraqi mutants.
Yeah, and it also makes me really interested to see what the meeting of Genesis and him was all that time ago when they first got there, and then he almost killed all of them. Because that tells me that there was probably something else going on there where he decided it was not okay.
Yeah.
So, but while this is going on, and as Bay runs off, up on the Citadel itself, Saturnyne is making her way through her castle with Shogo still in tow. As she heads to that room where her attendant is, takes the box that was brought to her and dumps its entire contents onto the floor.
Yeah, it's the Betsy shards.
Uh-huh. It's the Betsy jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because as everyone knows, in the middle of a giant demon war is the time to actually finish your jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But hey, she's gonna have wine soon as she's doing it, and it's raining outside. It honestly, low-key, sounds really relaxing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the battle, it do be raging.
It do be raging. There's a bit of a debate what they should do. Should they stay? Should they fight? Was there a reason to this fight? Was anybody thinking ahead? There's a great moment here of Apocalypse just staring down Captain Avalon saying, yes, I've been planning this for thousands of years. What do you mean?
Yeah. And just in the middle of all this, we have Bay run up and she just kind of tackles Cypher here. Everybody kind of panics at this, but yeah, it turns out Cypher thinks that Bay is joining them. That is not quite the case.
No. She uses her Doom Note ability, blows everybody away, picks up Cypher like he is a sack of potatoes, and just runs off.
Yeah, I think this is very funny. It's like she wants to protect Cypher, but also realizes, like, Krakowa's kind of doomed here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the best place to be at the moment. I love
how he just snatches him up.
Yeah.
Yes, I also like that too. It's just a run in and grab and leave.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's also really funny how far Wolverine gets thrown off by the note attack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he goes flying.
Just like lifting to the air at least 4 times he's hiked.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
when he's probably the heaviest person there, if not almost as heavy as Apocalypse. But yeah, he gets like cartoon ragdolled. It's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, cutting back to Saturnyne, she is still putting this back together. It looks like she has begun to put together a picture of somebody as she's put together legs, what looks like bottom of a cape. And, she's enjoying her wine, telling Shogo to calm down, not to breathe dragon fire in here, but maybe they can use it later on.
I like how Shogo is shown resisting a little bit of her influence. After he was so clearly like ensorcered by her power earlier.
Yeah, like he can't quite get there, but yeah, there's a panel here where he just like is looking to breathe some fire down on her, and she just kind of tells him no.
Yeah, and you can also see a little bit of Saturnyne sleeping here, in the sense of she's losing control of Shogo, or at least it isn't as consistent as it was, and yeah, that shows some weakness on her part, which I think foreshadows some of what's about to happen.
Yeah, like she, despite how in control she seems here, she's not quite in control.
Yeah.
She puts on a very, very good front.
Yeah, which I do think her not quite being in control might be part of the idea, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
No, I agree with you.
But yeah, so the fighting is still going. Magic wants to go find Doug. Apocalypse says, no, we can't do that. Magic fires back, I am not dying for your family nonsense.
Which, fair, that's basically what this all is.
Yeah, and
on top of something else, yeah.
The Krakoa forces are very small here, too. Like, at this point, we're down to just Wolverine, Avalon, Apocalypse, Storm, and Magic. Like, things aren't looking good.
No. Yeah, Cable has so far nowhere to be seen. He is going to show up, but he is not in this fight.
Yeah, and, he has a broken arm, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, right as things are looking the worst, Jubilee comes through with all the Green Priestesses.
Ooh, remember them?
Yeah.
They're back.
Yeah.
Also, shout out, there is a bit of Krakoan here from Storm and Apocalypse. Storm is saying hold fast, and Apocalypse is saying never surrender. But for some reason, Apocalypse's never surrender, there's no spaces in between anything, so it kind of reads a little weird if you translate it. Totally minor nerdy thing. I'm probably one of the few people who did translate it, but it is kind of weird.
I like that Storm says a Marauders line. That's kind of cool.
Me too. I was like, oh yeah, Kate would do great here.
Yeah.
Little nod.
Yeah.
The Marauders. Yeah.
But yeah, our friends are here, so we are going to the Citadel, or trying to go to the Citadel. We aren't really sure where we're going. The priestesses seem like they're heading to the Citadel, but Wolverine thinks they should hold the line.
Yeah, it's a little chaotic here. Just as a reminder, the Green Priestesses are here to defend the Starlight Citadel, but they don't take orders from Saturnyne. So they're kind of in like a weird area, but they are still here to defend it. So that's what they're going to go do while all of the mutants figure out what to do about these demons down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pragmatic.
Yeah.
The Citadel needs defending, they're gonna do it.
Yep.
I really like...
Jubilee wants her kid back.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
I do not blame her. I know your son is a dragon at the moment, but he is still a baby. I would hate to have him be alone at this moment.
I really like this next page. It's Cypher and Bay, and it's Cypher just kind of convincing Bay we need to go back to our friends.
And it's, it is 9 panels here on this page. Bay does not say a word. She just kind of looks at him, drops her weapon, and yeah, he is able to convince her to go back. In fact, he comes almost just short of saying, I love you.
Yep. I don't super buy Cypher's love for Bay, which seems very spontaneous. And it was pretty much instantaneous from the moment he saw her. And mostly born out of his fascination with her not being able to, or him not being able to understand her. But yeah, he does turn her around. She's one of the good guys now.
Yeah.
For the next pages at least.
Yeah. We'll see if that stays. But yeah, I agree. It reads more as like infatuated and versus like actual love. But I like how it comes across a lot. Like he gets very run-on sentency.
Yeah, and for a character that doesn't really do that, he's very concise in his words and when he knows what he wants to say. And here you can tell he's, you know, he's in his puppy love phase. Like, you know, he's just keep talking, doesn't want to say, he's figuring it out in the moment. It's cute, but I also agree that it is very sudden and I don't fully buy it.
Yeah, it is like verbal vomit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. And again, I am not saying that as like a writing knock here. I like how it comes across.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
it's word vomit, but in a positive way.
Yeah. But yeah.
So,
Bae rejoins the fight, tells them she's come in peace, and stuff's bad, and we are just surrounded now.
Yeah, really, really bad. Iska, Pestilence, Poggerpog, and Annihilation all meet up with the Krakoan group, as they are so surrounded by demons, all you have is their little circle of no demons, and the rest of it is black. That is how many there are around them.
Yeah. Pestilence and Iska come forward here just to have some words.
Yeah, and Annihilation has their own plans, you know. They want to burn Krakoa like they did Dryador. They're going to continue on after that, you know, plotting and brooding on what next to do, what next to conquer. But they want to pretty much erase Krakoa and its dream from existence.
Yeah. Sounds bad.
Yeah.
It sounds really bad.
But
thankfully, guess who's here to save us? It's Britain. I know you never thought you'd say that. That's weird, but here they are.
It's Saturnyne. She's finished her little jigsaw puzzle. When the Citadel calls, Captain Britain must answer. And surely, with the spell, like while her castle has been rocked around her, she would not also have her heart besieged.
Mm-hmm. Because, when the Citadel calls, Captain Britain must answer. And with her spell completed, Saturnyne backs away from her jigsaw puzzle only to find that her prophesied savior is a Captain Britain, but it is still Betsy Braddock.
It's like this stained glass looking circle thing. It looks like the opening of a Kingdom Hearts game.
Yes, yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
But yeah, Saturnyne backs away, just says no, and punches it, and we get just a bunch of multiversal looking Betsies here. There's one with a mustache. We got one that's there's a bird, there's a gorilla, a frog, Captain Britain. I like this thing a lot.
Yep, we're getting into the weird multiverse stuff that Marvel can do, and this is some of the peak of it that I really like because it's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm very happy that it came in here at the end.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, and our next data page is we figure out what Saturnyne is doing, and it's a love spell.
Yeah, and the way it is described and what she needs pretty much lays it out very plainly that this entire tournament has been a way for her to cast the spell to hopefully get Brian back. I don't think she knew that Arako was coming, but when they came up and presented the opportunity, she absolutely took it.
Yeah, so she needed a pure heart shattered in time of greatest need, which was Betsy. And she needed to assemble this when her desire was the greatest. And they will take the form of the heart's true protector. And yeah, there's a warning here of you got to typically cast this, or these are typically cast by the young and foolish, and sometimes this doesn't work because of that. You got to use better judgment when you're doing this and whatnot. It can have some backlash. Do not confuse true desperation with the age of desire. So this explains what Saturnyne has kind of been up to this whole time, where it seems like she was purposefully screwing over Krakoa here. She was trying to get it in a situation where Arakoa would be just kind of bearing down on her, and she had her back to the wall here. Saturnyne did all this because she was down bad.
It really is. It's that's kind of the theme for the tournament that's going on. Apocalypse is just, he misses his wife. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
And Saturnyne just misses Brian really bad.
Yeah, she wanted her own Brian. Just new Brian.
Mm-hmm. So
how do we feel about this?
Back when I first read this, I didn't like it because I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb. She's just doing this for love. This whole thing has just been a way for her to manipulate that. That's kind of silly. Coming back around to it again, I'm like, this is awesome. This is so much fun. Saturnyne has always kind of portrayed herself as knowing what she's doing. She's very competent. She is very smart. And she is having, orchestrated this entire thing into her desire. It's just the spell itself is so finicky that it did work, just not the way she wanted.
And what do you think about this, Sergio?
Who can't relate to asking your crush over to play some Mario Party?
Yeah.
With the fate of worlds and nations hanging in the balance.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. I think it's fun. I think it's I don't think, the whole... it was completely or 100% a scheme just to get Captain Avalon back. But she's very opportunistic, and she wanted everything to fit perfectly. Because the Araku invasion was not part of her plan, or at least she didn't plant the army at her doorstep. But she did take the opportunity to use it as an excuse or use it as a demonstration of who the rightful Captain Britain was, which was a big part of her arc in her first appearances.
Yeah.
And this was the perfect excuse, right?
Yeah. It's very opportunistic is what it kind of reads as, because I don't believe she orchestrated the Arakoa stuff, but it's definitely, she saw an opportunity here and took it. It's very funny that it blew up in her face like this. It just all comes down to, no, Betsy is Captain Britain.
Yeah. And as we're gonna see this too once we read the next one, but everything else pretty much went according to plan. It was just this one bit that didn't end up working.
Yeah.
So were the pieces supposed to be reassembled into what's his name?
Yeah,
Ryan, yeah.
I assume that was the idea, was she was going to assemble the pieces, it was going to be her heart's true desire, and it would be Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And instead she got Betsy. But it's a funny twist. I like it quite a bit. But let's go into destruction here.
All right, so we are at our final issue of X of Swords with destruction. Unfortunately, at the end. This one is co-written by Jonathan Hickman and Tini Howard and released at the end of November of 2020. So this event essentially ran for about 2 months, with everything coming out in that span of time.
Yeah.
And opening up here, we do see another data page update. This time Solemn is listed with a question mark, showing that he is missing. And oddly enough, the White Sword is marked with an X, as if he were dead, even though we did see him leave. So I'm not too sure why that is. Yeah,
it's weird that he has the X, but Red Root does not. If we're just doing they're gone now as the X.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, no, just minor thing, really.
Yeah.
I can imagine this being such a big event, spanning multiple writers, that stuff like that could be overlooked easily.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's editorial's not easy, especially with just what's all going on here, and just you're making a lot of these before all the issues are out, and stuff happens.
You also have to remember, too, this got finished in the middle of COVID-19 at the very start.
Yeah.
You know, and there's 29 different people involved with making it. The fact that there were these little amount of errors is actually really impressive.
Yeah.
But after that page, we are going to open up here on Otherworld at the Starlight Citadel, as Saturnyne is going to draw the final tarot card, the Wheel of Fortune, as the Captain Britain Corps is reborn, as various Betsies from different realities pour forth to defend the Starlight Citadel.
I want to shout out the dinosaur, Captain Britain, back here.
Uh-huh.
The dinosaur one's really good. I like the goose. I love the
Yeah.
goose.
There are multiple... I like how there are multiple bird
Yes.
Captain Britons.
Yeah, there's not just one. There's a werewolf in there, too. It's very good. There's a massive range here.
Yeah, we got one with a big old hammer. Yeah, it's good stuff. I like this a lot. These are wacky. I think there's a dragon, Captain Britain.
Yes, the dragon is in the back. A lot of axes, a lot of birds. There's just a lot of them. To note, we have seen Betsy. There's a lot of Betsies here. But none have been identified yet as our Betsy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. I like this next page of Captain Avalon just looking up in like awe. The expression here is just like absolute like hope, and he calls out to the mutants like the Captain Britain corpse has returned, and it's such like a cool. I like this in his art quite a bit, like him just looking up, seeing the Captain Britons, and just being like excited about that.
Yeah, because he knows exactly what that means.
Yeah.
You know, that used to be him. So, but again, absolute shout outs to Pepe Larraz, who's the artist, Marvel's best, easily, and the colorist for this one is Marte Garcia. Great. Absolutely fantastic. Everything in here pops this entire issue.
There are so many panels, and multiple of them are like whole page panels, showing groups of heroes just descending from the sky, and they are all cool.
Yes.
Yeah. This is just this entire issue is just like multiple instances of that's really cool in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like things being summoned?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you like new armies arriving? Did you think it was crowded enough?
Yeah.
In this space below the Citadel before? Because just you wait.
Yeah. It's
We've got
we
got
have
some people arriving.
Yeah.
we have more than one army still to come.
Yeah, the party has not started.
I want to shout out the panel here of it's one of the Captain Britons, just like swinging a sword at War, who is on the ground, kind of just like taken aback, like looking like she's kind of fleeing here. I like this panel a lot. I feel like you can really see the movement here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a lot of like, this is all battle raging stuff, and it's all great, and it's very dynamic.
Yeah. Like, it feels like, I think like a mark of a really good comic is when you can almost like feel the motion, and I think it really comes out here.
Yeah.
There's a like,
Storm swinging her sword, like just in the previous page, is fantastic.
Yeah.
She finally gets to use it with her powers now that they're back, and it is awesome.
A couple of the page after the one we were just talking about as well has it's Annihilation throwing, it looks like her sword at the Captain Britain that had War on the ground, and it cleaves through them from the front, and it's just like you see their arm, leg, and hand that was holding the sword just get like cleaved off, and it's just really cool. Like it's just this blur of gold.
Yeah, there's a really good follow through because she starts by cutting off a Captain Britain's head, and then you see her follow it through with a turn and throwing it.
Yeah.
You know, like Tim said, you feel the motion in that. Party's about to get bigger, like Sergio just said.
Yeah, Genesis said, or Annihilation, I guess, said they have summoned an army. Let's get ours here. And we have a bunch of summoners who call forth a bunch of Cthulhu monsters.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's all that is it. It's a Cthulhu monster with crab claws and the worm from Dune.
Yeah, and it's
It really is.
It's a
yeah.
lot of them. I think she says summon just everything.
At the moment, she just says, "See what hell the summoners summon."
Yeah.
But eventually,
Yeah,
we're
this
gonna
is
get
the
more.
opening salvo.
Yes.
Yeah. I love how this is just like, what comes to mind is like Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters, like just being called upon the battlefield, just cards resolving and summoning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
You can see the scope, like every time this happens, the scope just goes up a whole grade up.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's escalation after escalation that is going to be happening here.
This this to me is peak Hickman. Like, this is, I think, kind of where he's at his best, when it's just, okay, we have reached the end of this conflict, we have a lot of parties, let's just throw them all at each other and see what happens. And yeah, I find this very fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like recklessness here. Like, who cares how consistent it is? Who cares like about the like saturation of factions and threats? We're gonna see even more of that later.
Yeah.
Yes, and thinking about that too, it's also just him going like, okay, we're gonna throw everybody in there, see what happens, but also, yeah, you want to see that cool thing? I want to see that cool thing, so we're absolutely gonna do that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we found Cable. He is arm in a sling on like a stretcher covered in flowers, just hanging out with Saturnyne.
Yep, and even she admits that they're losing.
Yeah. Things aren't going well.
Yeah, but as she explains it, again, this has all been preordained. There's nothing she can do about it while the tournament is ongoing.
I like this page here, or this panel here, while she's talking of, I guess 2 panels of Apocalypse just being restrained by a bunch of vines as he just kind of carves through them, trying to get to annihilation. But yeah, as all this is going down, Cable gets a call from Dad.
And he's like, "Hey, I'm on my way. ETA, like 3 minutes. I'll be right there."
Yeah. Just pops into Magic, says, "Hey, can you do the thing?" And she says, "Yep," and
open a really, really big door.
Yeah. It's the whole sword station.
You see, before that, you see Magic just plunge her sword in the ground with this blue fire all around her, and she's like roaring to the sky, and you know some cool shit's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then you turn the page, you see a portal open up above the Citadel, and it is just a massive space station that is perfectly with the little tip of it right above the Citadel. It's perfect.
The scale here looks so cool.
It is. I love this little panel over to the side showing you the scale. I wish it was a full page, kind of like the one next to it, but it is so cool.
Yeah.
It's great. I don't particularly know what's going on here. Like, I don't think enough was foreshadowed about how this transportation method into the other world works. But who cares?
Yeah.
It's cool.
No, I agree. There was foreshadowing that, Cyclops and Magic were doing something, but they never actually talked about it. So either they had this plan ahead of time, or Magic and Cyclops just know each other so well to be like, I get you. I got your back.
Yeah.
There's been so much ink spilled about how you get into Otherworld, and this just is like this backdoor that is just there for no reason that we know of. But yeah. Like, who cares, I guess.
Yeah, you can kind of BS it a little bit with Magic's powers, but you're right. It is what it is. They really didn't lead up to this, but still cool. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. And that small panel showing the station right above the Citadel, it's just so cool. I think it's worth it for that alone.
Yeah. And our next page here is, I think, even cooler. Jean and Cyclops get the troops ready, and we get just so many mutants descending on this battlefield.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The X-Men are here.
Yeah. This is like a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Everyone is here deal. Like most of the cast from the books we've been reading have just shown up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. It looks nice. Again, it's the same play on the everybody's dropping from the sky thing, but it's still cool. And it's really nice also to see where we left off with Scott and, Jean trying to get everybody together. We don't know who they were going to ask, and here they all are.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. It's really cool to go from Scott and Jean are off on like this desperate mission to this panel where everyone just hopped aboard the space station and came over.
Mm-hmm.
It almost makes no sense how Kate's not here and she got rejected by Scott earlier because she couldn't come. Just so she could stay in the Quiet Council.
Yeah.
Like at this point, who really cares about the council?
Yeah.
Right? If you can summon this many mutants to possibly die forever after they've been given resurrection, you really don't have to worry about that. But
yeah,
I can see why, because they would want her to stay on the council. But
I guess I wonder. Like I again have no idea about what's next. I really hope that there are some changes to the council. I would like this to signal something about the importance of X-Men as a community, like a grassroots community, versus like the importance that has been placed in governance all throughout this Crack One era. But who knows where that's going.
I mean, no, you are right about that. I haven't even thought about it that way, but this is again showing that when their community comes together by them just going around and getting people together is when they're at their best.
Yeah.
So it's not a government thing.
We spoke a little last time when they showed that data page of the like X-Men branding being removed from like government communications. And there's a little payoff here that I think works way better than the one we saw in the previous issue when we discussed that. When Jean's saying to me, my X-Men, and that's like the catchphrase, and that's what you're supposed to be like hyped for. And it really works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the...
And again, even though it's not the distance that we were talking about, again, when we discussed that data page, when we said it would have been better if that had been like an established thing at the very beginning of the Krakoan era, and then we could get this payoff now. It's been like a couple of issues at most, but now it pays off. Now it feels better, and it feels good, and it lends some weight to the argument that, hey, maybe we were going at it all wrong, and the Quiet Council isn't all we thought it would be.
Yeah. Like, I like this thing, like, them just being like, hey, do you guys want to go do some X-Men stuff? And having all of these mutants show up is very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you want to go do some superhero shit?
Yeah, and it's like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
That's
Even the guy who doesn't want to fight, Glob, said yes. He
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah, like, there is, like, you got your usual suspects here, but yeah, there's a lot of mutants here that are, you almost wouldn't expect. Like, Wildside is here.
Yeah.
And this feels like a moment of release. Like, there's been so much restraint in the way like mutants behave and act now that they are part of an organized state.
Yeah.
And again, this feels like them going all out like they haven't in the entirety of the era.
Yeah. And I think if there was a time to do it, it's this one. And it works very well. Like you said, with like a release of finally them being able to do it, we're then gonna get the next page of mutants just destroying demons.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of all of the gun mutants are just firing on Poggerpog. I love this next like page. It's just like this dialogueless action of just like fighting mutants.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's everyone that again like letting everything out.
Yeah.
And it's not like, again, covert coming from X-Force. It's not an organized team under Magneto or Mr. Sinister, and it's like everyone going on off their like instincts, and they're all good guys, and they just want to save their friends, and they just want to beat this evil guy, and it's kind of like what it's all about. Yeah, and I really want this to mean something for the state of affairs going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My lips are sealed on that one, but we will see.
Also, just as a side note, we have Gwenpool here.
I saw that. I was like, huh, interesting. I don't know much about her as a character. You know, I've seen her around. I will admit, for a long time, I thought that was Gwen Stacy, just as a Deadpool. I didn't realize she was a completely different character.
Yeah. The whole deal with her, just if anybody wants to know the story, this is our first time, I think, seeing her on actual Krakoa, is she was a character named Gwendolyn Poole, who had come here from our world, supposedly, and read a lot of comics, so just had all this background knowledge of like how comic books work. So very similar to Deadpool in that way of like just being able to break the fourth wall. Turns out she had not come here from our world and was actually a mutant with reality warping powers. And yeah, so she technically had a space on Krakoa. So she had a mini, and she ended up here at the end of it. And this is our first time really seeing her in actual Krakoa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's the little green guy above Beast?
That is Dupe.
What's Dupe's deal?
I don't really know Dupe's deal, but he has been around a bit.
He's a fun little guy. I like him. I also don't know his deal.
I believe he was like an ecstatic thing, but I'm really not sure. But yeah, Dupe is around. I think he's a mutant.
I would hope so if he's
I
here.
believe it. He's literally got the X-Men sign on his belly.
Yeah.
What passes for his belly, I guess.
Good old Dupe. But yeah. The battles still be raging with Apocalypse and Annihilation.
Yep, and Genesis is able to break through just a little bit here, and she admits to her husband, I can't yield. I cannot, break even for a moment. The fight is all I have, and it's the only thing letting me have some semblance of control. And Apocalypse is like, you don't get it. Surrendering is not the same as losing something. I have a plan. I know what to do. You just need to follow my lead.
Yeah, and it seems like this almost works when she just kind of like, she admits she's very tired of the fight, but then Annihilation breaks back through and just calls in the summoners to just summon every beast.
Every demon. So summon all of Darker Amenth. And, yeah, if you thought we were done, there's bigger dune worms that are now as large as the horizon.
Yeah.
The escalation just keeps going.
Yeah. Cable sees this and just says, like, it's done. We're going to lose here. Can you, like, just put me down so I can just die with my family? And Saturnyne just asks him, what card did you draw?
And he's like, oh, I had the Fool. And she's like, yeah, the Fool with a sword. That's not just a sword. And he's like, oh, oops.
Yeah, so, he makes a call to Magic, Jean, and Cyclops just says, hey, can you come get me? They teleport him to the little swords station here, and...
hey, remember that weird sudden alien group that showed up way at the beginning of this in Cable?
Yeah.
They now have a purpose.
Cyclops and Cable are going to Father-Son Kamehameha, the sword through this, like, door here. And, all these aliens come rushing out. Magic quickly portals them onto the battlefield.
Yep, right into the pile of summoners as the Vescora run through and just immediately annihilate all of them.
We kind of complained about this.
Yes.
When it first happened, when it was introduced in Cable, it just felt like kind of random, very out there, just like, what is all this? This is a cool payoff.
I am still a little complaining about it. This feels a little contrived to me.
It does. I can, if this didn't happen and the Vescora were not here, S.W.O.R.D showing up still would have paid off, and they would have found another way to deal with the summoners. I'm fine that it happened, because I'm like, you know what? I like keeping this escalation train just rolling.
Yeah, like I see its function.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite think we built it up enough that I understand entirely why they are so confidently using this army as a tool to win this when they were kind of like a wild card back when we met them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing preventing them from like turning on the mutants, and there's a bunch of mutants on that field.
Yeah. It's definitely a dangerous card to play.
Yeah, it feels just like the desperation card, but not fully. They're more confident than they should be.
Exactly. It feels like a trump card when it should be like a desperate last resource.
Yeah.
Because there is, as far as I know, they do not have an agreement of any sort with the mutants. They're not inherently good, or they're not like even. Who knows how they're going to react to the summoners?
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out they were friends all along.
Yeah. It would be very bad if they showed up here and were like, okay, let's befriend them. But luckily, portaling them directly onto the summoners does seem to work out for them. The bloodthirstiness does win out. But yeah, I definitely see your point. That would be very bad if it was like, yeah, the Vescora don't like being used this way and will just turn around and turn on Krakoa because of this.
It really feels like losing a bunch of wasps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know like who they're gonna be mad at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this is gonna be a problem for me too, but at least none of us win.
Yeah.
And it gets sold again as something that's closely linked to Saturnyne because of like the card that Cable got dealt. Like it's the solution, but I don't think it's the obvious solution. Like if this was like a point and click game, I wouldn't think to go to the portal where I had previously had to fight a bunch of weird aliens I don't know the motives of.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of lack of satisfaction in how like clever the solution feels. But it's ultimately fine. It's not that big of a gripe.
Yeah, for what ultimately is also going to be pretty short, because they do come out, they destroy the summoners, Annihilation cuts a few of them apart, before probably my favorite sequence happens, which is Apocalypse grabs Annihilation, and palms her whole face, and just slams her into the ground.
Yeah.
And this, I think, is lent a lot of strength out of the fact that this is somewhat out of Saturnyne's purview and control.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels like Apocalypse here is kind of like the wild card for Saturnyne. Saturnyne doesn't know how this is going to come out exactly. If Saturnines trump card is literally the card that got dealt to Cable, and that has served its function, then Apocalypse doing all of this because he's been planning for it, because he's like spent millions of years dreaming about this moment, gained more like narrative strength out of, again, not just being part of Saturnyne's scheme.
Yeah, like you really get the impression she has no idea how this is going to go.
This is all him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She knew the cards that would get them to this spot, but from here on out, she just has to watch.
Yeah, and she, by this point, also has had enough of her plan like spoiled because of like the Captain Britain stuff. That she's, it's kind of out of her hands now.
Yeah, she has lost control of it at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Apocalypse takes makes the most of this opportunity, grabs the helmet. It is just a fiery skull, as Genesis just kind of says no while laying on the ground. And yeah, the mask attaches itself to Apocalypse's face. It seems to take over him initially.
I gotta say, these panels when he rips off the mask and everybody in this
Yeah.
fight is like has to stop and look. Great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
cool.
So good.
This like, I like even like the Viscora are like, what the heck is going on here? Like
Yeah,
Dakin is
it-
standing on a worm and like turns and looks like
Yeah, it lends so much weight to what is happening here.
yeah. Like this
You know,
is
and
it's a pivotal moment of the battle and everything on this battlefield can understand that.
yes. Yeah. And Saturnyne watching, being like, okay, finish it, do what you have to do. So the mask gets put on, Apocalypse becomes Annihilation, and again, looks absolutely sick. This is an incredible upgrade for him.
Yeah, it's great looking. But yeah, things don't seem to be going super well. It does seem like Annihilation is in control here.
The overlaid speech bubbles here.
Yeah, I like it a
where
lot.
They're saying their names at the same time. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's because Apocalypse is Apocalypse, but you get like the Black Annihilation panel just saying Annihilation over it.
Yeah. You don't have to even show that they are fighting for control. That's all you need is those two text boxes.
Yeah. But yeah, one of the fish person says, the aliens, yeah, they're kind of attacking us too.
And not just that, but they're tearing apart the fabric of Otherworld.
Yeah, and yeah,
That's bad.
You kind of see them. This next page is like a full page spread. A bunch of them are like on one of the Amenth like Cthulhu worm things, like ants and like Angel and I think it's Bling are up here just fighting one.
I was about to say, is that Bling? Did we just get a Fallen Angels call back?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So Bling is there, but Saturnyne again says, "No, I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Not yet."
And then we get just an absolutely like beautiful page as far as just paneling and art goes.
It is Apocalypse and Annihilation's mask just filling everything up, and then the different empty spaces around the horns and in the mask itself are the different scenes.
Yeah,
it is just beautiful masterclass at paneling.
Yeah, and just what is happening on this page is it's just this struggle of Annihilation and Apocalypse just fighting each other over control here.
And I think what is the culmination of this entire event for Apocalypse, which is, hey, yes, at first maybe I did want to control everything and I did want to win, and he's like, not anymore. The only thing I want at the end of the day now is to save my people, and that's it.
Yeah. And then something pretty crazy happens.
I have to ask before I describe what this is. Sergio, is this one of the best moments or one of the worst moments that's about to happen?
I was kind of indifferent to it.
Okay.
It kind of makes sense.
Okay. I'm glad.
But yeah,
it can be a little polarizing. We get this scene here of Iska the Unbeaten, who has been on the side of Araco, has now turned. Her color scheme inverts, apparently. That means she's turned. But she has now switched sides because she cannot be beaten, so she has to automatically go to the side of the winner, which is now Krakoa.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's carrying a mutant who I assume she was fighting before, but now she's just bringing him to safety. Is this Explodey Boy?
I think so, because he's got the jetpack.
Yeah.
Oh,
Poor guy.
that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun little thing there with Iska. I do think it's very silly. It's like, oh no, she turned. We can't win anymore. Sure. It's fun. It's dramatic. It's very dramatic.
Yeah. So the struggle of wills continue as Apocalypse manages to kneel before Saturnyne. And Annihilation is just begging, but has clearly lost this battle of just like, don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
And Apocalypse says, I surrender, as the mask just says no.
Yeah.
I like the Iska bit, like thinking on it, because it marks the moment where Apocalypse will surpasses that of Annihilation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it's like highlighting,
Yeah.
right? Like the emotional climax, like the narrative climax of this bit is just that, like Apocalypse being able to overpower Annihilation's influence to decide he wants to save his people by surrendering. And Iska's turning is, again, what signals that. It's the moment where Apocalypse has won. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It brings down this fight to just like the sole character moment. Like none of these moments of like sending in like one of the 5 armies that joined the fight was like the turning moment here. It was Apocalypse just being able to overpower Annihilation by just sheer force of will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And that actually brings me back to a point I was going to say earlier, but I actually forgot what I was going to say in the middle of saying it. But it's the pacing of this issue is so good. And it, you can really culminate that here, where you have the buildup of Apocalypse having to put on the mask, the fight, and then you just get this little breather moment. And like Sergio just pointed out, it's the key moment. It's just not looking at the main character. It's off to the side to show you this is the result of what the main character was able to do.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah. I feel like the whole pacing of the entire Ten of Swords event has been on point. I think, again, kind of getting ahead of myself, I guess we're going to be talking about the whole thing later.
Mm-hmm.
But some of my favorite issues we've read are usually on this batch.
Yeah, no, I also agree. But we're almost there. We're getting through this pretty fast. So yeah, Apocalypse kneels.
Pretty much all epilogue from here.
Oh yeah, and surrenders. And with that, the tournament is now officially over, and that means Saturnyne can now finally intervene. So she hops on Shogo's back and rids the board of all the players she doesn't need. Meaning she uses Dragonfire to open a portal to to Blightspoke, the realm of forgotten and destroyed universes, where she sends the Viscora, the Summoners, most if not all of the demons get swept off the board and poured into that place.
Yeah. Just dump them in the multiversal trash heap, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Shogo's never looked cooler.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. He is so cool. He's very fierce. And with that, she has other accounts to settle. She hops off the dragon and says, you know what, let me see that mask for a second. And she picks up Annihilation and reshapes it into a staff. As she herself admits, the Amenthi demons do need someone to rule after them, so she can't just destroy it. But turning it into a staff means Annihilation can no longer directly control anybody.
Yeah. Annihilation is still kind of yelling during all of this as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just, yelling about crushing your bones, destroying you, but there's nothing it can do.
But yeah, Otherworld stands triumphant. Krakoa survives. Arakawa yields. And as she says this, it's just in front of like a crowd of people just on the ground. I like the shot here. Everyone looks very gray except for Armor, who is sitting cross-legged in like full like mech suit looking thing here. It's very neat looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just it's very funny to stand out.
Yeah.
And Saturnyne does mention that yes, while everything is done, she still needs a sign of goodwill and is going to need both sides to select one mutant who is going to swap places with the other. Obviously, Genesis decides to pick Apocalypse, as she really does want to be with her husband, and they will finally get that chance.
Yeah.
As for the Krakoan side, Cyclops is initially going to take the lead, but Apocalypse is like, slow down, buddy. I got this.
Yeah. Saturnyne likes this because this is chemistry.
Yes, and it's very, very pretty. And perhaps one of the smartest things that Apocalypse does is he chooses the entire mutant island of Araco to switch places with him.
Yeah. Saturnyne comments, yeah, that wasn't in the cards. Good job.
Yeah, so Araco is going to get Apocalypse, and Krakoa is going to get another Krakoa, home of the millions of other mutants that have been tracked by Annihilation and the Amenthi demons.
Yep. This is a wishing for more wishes kind of deal.
Yeah,
Absolutely, that is what it is. But it's also an absolutely brilliant pick, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like Apocalypse has been like sitting on that for a little bit and is like, yeah, that's a good one.
Before he knew Genesis was alive, this was kind of his whole thing.
Yeah.
That was the promise that he made to her, expecting her to die in the intervening years, was, I will get our people back together. So he did achieve his end goal.
Yep.
If anything,
And,
Apocalypse did come out the winner.
Saturnyne goes, everyone go home.
Yeah, and we shuffle through the gates. And yeah, we get our final little scene here. Cyclops asks, like, okay, you didn't need to do that. Do you want us to tell anything to Professor Magneto? Just says, yeah, I'll see him again. And then Apocalypse, Genesis, War, Pestilence, and Famine just walk off into the raging fire of a sunset.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah?
I really like this last
Yeah,
panel.
me too.
I do too. I like, after all of this, I'm actually very happy that Apocalypse got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been reunited with his family. Walking off into the sunset. It's fun.
Yeah. And, as Sergio mentioned, a lot of this is going to be wrap up here, but we'll get these last couple pages and then we'll talk about the whole thing. So these data pages here, the first one is the Swords of Araco, and it's going to tell us where they're ending up by the end of this. There's a couple here, but one of the interesting ones to note is that Death is listed as captured in Sevalith and not actually dead. Solemn escaped to Earth, and the Twilight Blade used by Annihilation is currently missing.
Yeah, it also seems like Bay is going to be living on Earth full time. And, yeah, we don't know where, the Summoner's Sword is also just claimed from the Void Void as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, our next data page is, learning where the Swords of Krakoa are.
A lot of just kind of cleanup here for off-panel. Skybreaker returns to Wakanda. Warlock and Bay's swords both suggest a rift that is going to form between Doug, Bay, and Warlock. It's almost kind of tongue-in-cheek, such as Warlock's sword here says, everything is fine, nothing's going to change. Mutants get married all the time. We're going to be best friends forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the only other thing to note is that Gorgon's blades were brought back to Krakoa for his resurrection, and even though he's going to come back not as he was, once he does come back, he still gets to choose if he wants the blades or not.
Yeah. This feels, when you see like an 80s movie, like an 80s coming of age movie, if you will, where it's like the end credits are like, where are they now? It's like that, except it's swords.
Yeah. It really is, yeah.
Now that you mentioned the Warlock stuff, I can't help but picture the myth of consent meme with isn't there someone you forgot to ask?
Yeah.
And it's Warlock's just like right there, like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get another data page about the Captain Britain Corps, about how they have been reformed. But specifically unaccounted for is our Betsy. She's still dead.
Yep, Captain Britain Prime is no longer here, still missing. However, the other Captain Britons are here, and the present and accounted for goes on for 564,430 pages. So there are a lot of them.
Yeah. What is your favorite name of these? You can pick one.
Oh, there's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys pick first because you might pick one of mine. So, Sergio, what's your favorite?
I am tempted by Captain Krakoika because of her name, but I cannot resist a High Priestess, so it's gotta be High Priestess Celtia.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, Tim?
I'm gonna go generic here. Britannica Rex.
Ah, okay, that's why I didn't want to say it first, because that was also mine. I love Britannica Rex. I will probably then go with Captain Amphibian.
Yeah, that's probably the frog.
I just like the little frog one.
Yeah.
Are they? They've got all of their different seats, and they seem to be at least listed in order here. Are they? Do they earn their seats by their like physical proximity to the Captain Britain Prime?
I think it's just what universe they're from, because Betsy's.
Oh yeah, because Betsy's on 616.
616.
You're right.
Yeah,
it does say unaccounted for. It doesn't say that. I don't think she's that.
Yeah.
No. I don't think so either. But I don't remember how they decided on the numbering. I think there's something behind it. But yeah, the main Marvel Comics universe has always been 616.
Yeah,
makes sense. It's a number.
And then for this last little bit, we are going to get a wrap up with Saturnyne herself, essentially explaining, yeah, of course I knew what was going to go on this entire time, duh. Rill, her fish attendant, does have to ask if she knew what was coming up and why she was so calm despite everything going to chaos. And she responds that, well, it was impossible not to see the signs and where things were going to go. For example, she knew that husband and wife would come back together, as would mother and child, just like Shogo and Jubilee. That the 10th sword would descend from heaven, only to return at the dawn of a new age, which stands for sword. That, Storm would have to break old connections, such as hers with Wakanda, in order to get done what needs to be done. And that the Quiet Council would be cracked and shattered and much different than it was before, as some of its members are either now dismissed or have now gone to Araco in the case of Apocalypse.
Yeah. And Storms also says she turns her eyes to the stars, which could be foreshadowing something as well.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
Yeah.
And Saturnyne mentions, she knows all of these things, but they're beneath her. She doesn't really care. She only cares about matters of her court, such as the fact that the Avalon Gate under King Jaime Braddock is the best and only way to get from Krakoa to Otherworld, and he's going to have a monopoly on that. And it's here we see Solemn sneaking through the gate off to Earth.
Yeah.
She also mentions that she's seen fit to make use of Blightspoke. She's having the Vescora, those aliens from the Sword Station, mine that blighted land in order to find new sources of energy and materials that can then be sold at the Crooked Market, introducing a brand new market of things to be sold and fought over.
Yeah. And also, the relentless appetite of the undying lands of Selvath will be sated by death itself, and it seems like death is just hanging out on Selvath.
Is shirtless, standing there as there are two vampires in this really interesting modern art piece.
Yep.
So at least we do know he is alive. He is not dead.
Yeah. And what Saturnyne got over this was the Captain Britain corpse. She has herself an army now.
Mm-hmm. And Rill congratulates her that everything went absolutely according to her plan. She has all of her courts set up, the matter is handled, Otherworld is fine, and obviously she is happy. So long may she reign.
And as we see this, we get a close-up here on Brian clapping in the audience as she remembers. She has like a flashback of Brian of just in various cool poses with one of them kissing her. And long may she reign in our last panel of the book with just her alone on a throne, looking very isolated.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That is the end of X of Swords.
That's the last of X of Swords. That's great.
We made it. I have a whole bunch I could talk about. I could talk about this thing forever. But really quick, I loved it. I love it even more reading it the second time. It's just a really fun event, and the fact that they were able to get 28 different creative individuals in writing, artists, colorists, editors, all of those people together to make a cohesive story across 22 different issues is an incredible feat. it is amazing to be able to read this again after having read other events, just to see how cohesive it all is. Like, they did a fantastic job. Especially also to know that the last bit of this was done during the COVID-19 pandemic, where a lot of stuff was thrown into chaos and uncertainty. But before I wax way too much into it, Tim, what did you think about this whole thing, having read it again?
Yeah, I enjoyed this quite a bit. I was a little bit higher on this than most when I read it the first time. There was a little bit of a controversy about the kind of tone shift in between when we kind of started playing Mario Party. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's great. I still think it's great. It works very well. I think the pacing of this event is very tight. I think they do a good job at intertwining a lot of the issues with the plot. Nothing really feels like it's not servicing it to some degree. Hellions is kind of the exception here, but also Hellions is very fun, so I don't care.
Mm-hmm. And for being 2 issues out of a 22-issue story, that's not bad. For comics, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and it's not like it doesn't have an effect on everything. It's just its impact is a little bit less than some other stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a very big fan of this. I liked it a lot on reread. I think it comes together brilliantly. And honestly, like I think it's kind of impressive how I do feel like this is almost the exact right amount of issues for it too. Like, if this was any longer in terms of like we had more batches after this, I think I would have felt like it was dragging. But yeah, this ended right about when I was hoping it would. Sergio, what do you think?
I just want to echo a lot of what you've both said. I think you gotta respect the effort of coordinating such a large event across so many people. And then it does come together really well. It's really well paced. It's got a few flaws narratively, I think, but it's by and large a success. It's more of a triumph than it is like floundering at any moment. I don't think it really falls off at any point. I don't think there was any issue that I particularly did not enjoy. It's just really consistent. It's what happens when you've got, again, kind of like a planned out creative vision and you execute it with a team of really capable individuals and you know what it's all driving towards and it's all foreshadowed adequately well. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think it's a lot of fun. And I think it coming after so many other threats have been explored within the like Krakoan era helps pay off a lot of, again, the like character changes that we've seen so far. I really liked most of it, even though it didn't end up being what I thought it would be in parts, at least partially. It does end up being something like very, very wholly enjoyable.
Yeah, it's good when something can throw you for a loop in a good way, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a good time. Like, most of these characters are really likable. There's no one I particularly hate here. Kid Omega shows for like 2 panels and that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that is as much as anyone should ever be exposed to.
Yeah. I'm sorry we have so many issues of X-Force to go.
I know we do. But I do agree, something, because I wrote down some notes once I finished this again. Another part of it that I really liked is just how much this event introduced and fleshed out. We got more on Araco, their mutants, their culture, all of their new characters, the entire Iraqi team. You have Annihilation, you gave Apocalypse a wife and kids, and also explained why his ideology is survival of the fittest, all in a way that works and comes together and makes it really, really good. Sometimes rewrites for comic book characters can end up taking away from the character, and all of this, at least in my opinion, kind of adds so much to it.
Yeah, I kind of just a shout out in general to the Arakoa mutants, or just like the Arakoa characters in general. They feel very fleshed out by the time we're done with this. Some more than others, but yeah, I really liked a lot of these characters. I hope we see more of them as this goes on.
Yeah. I was particularly fond of the ones that seem like reflections of the Krakoa mutants, so you kind of have a little shortcut there in their characterization, because you know what the like Redroot's deal is all about, by him being a mirror reflection of Cypher. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I also think being such a newcomer to the X-Men like franchise, you wouldn't think I would be again as connected to these characters, or I would not appreciate again like the rewrites to Apocalypse, because he's not someone that I particularly know of beyond what we've read and covered in this podcast. But like it still works really well when everyone falls from the sky and it's all of the guys. It works completely. I'm completely sold on the moment. Everyone's here. All of the guys. They are here to do good.
Yeah. We're here to be X-Men.
And I have to also give a shout out, also to what's been going on with Excalibur and Teenie Howard. Before all of this, I didn't know anything about Captain Britain, Otherworld, and Otherworld got very fleshed out with this story, with all of its different realms and courts and everything going on. But when the Captain Britain Corps comes back, I'm like, you know what? That is really cool. You're right. That is neat.
Yeah, I did not foresee myself liking something based on Excalibur so much, just because of my general opinions on how that series goes, but it did really work.
Yeah, and it reminds me of something I talked about at the beginning of this, but I had to be really vague. There was an Entertainment Weekly interview with a bunch of the writers for X-Men about a year after this ends, as they're just talking as a reflection of the Krakoan era. And Teenie mentions that she and Hickman were talking together online, as all of the X-Men writers do, just to see what people are doing with their story, where they want to go, how story beats are going to work out. And Teenie and Hickman realized, oh, we're going in the same direction. Why don't we come together and do an event? And that's how X of Swords came about. And now that we've read it, I can see the pieces. Hickman wrote, even before Krakoa started, his Marvel 1000 issue where he teased the original Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So he clearly had an idea for Apocalypse's backstory when it came to Arakko. And then you have Teenie, who was working on, let's bring the Captain Britain Corps back. Let's have something going on with Otherworld and everything going on there. And then Apocalypse is involved with that, and he's all into magic and is doing something kind of shady. You can see where conversations about those two separate points would naturally come together and then create something. And then just in that moment of creativity and just hashing stuff out, somebody went, why not a tournament arc? And just boom, there it goes. There's X of Swords right there.
I think that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about it this way when you mentioned it, but it's really interesting how that kind of shows a little of the freedom that these writers have over the entire direction of the wide range of X-Men lines. If they could like get together and then propose an event that took over the entirety of the franchise for the better part of a month, I guess.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and having read other Marvel properties and anything, X-Men is really the only one that can actually do that. Spider-Man is the only one I would say is kind of an exception, because there's the main Spider-Man book, and then you usually have Miles, a Venom book, sometimes Spider-Gwen going on. But that's about the only other property that usually has multiple books going on within the same character space. And so you don't really get this that often.
Yeah, and especially with X-Men too, because it's team-based books. So when you do have like line ride crossovers like this, it's a lot more characters than most of these.
Yes. Yeah, because there are a lot of mutants. When it comes to, say, the Avengers, you're not going to have, I shouldn't say you're not going to. You typically don't have an Avengers book going on, and a Captain America, and an Iron Man, and a Hulk, and a Thor, and whoever else is in the Avengers going on. But even then, you're restricted to about maybe a dozen characters. Whereas the X-Men is like an explosion of characters.
Even then, I don't even know if that would be a correct comparison. It would be like, you would have to have an Avengers book, and then a West Coast Avengers book, and like a Secret Avengers book. And yeah, it's just... nothing can really compare to the X-Men, I think, in that regard.
Yeah, no, actually, that is a better comparison right there. Because these are team books that are going on. We don't really have an individual book outside of Cable and Wolverine right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It just fantastic job. I'm very, very, I was very happy to have gone through this again because, man, I've come out with a lot more respect for what they did here.
Yeah, and
yeah, it's been really fun to read it along with you guys as well. I think our interactions do lend a lot of strengths to the reading that wouldn't be there if I was just reading along, binging through the whole thing on my.
Yeah. I agree. I think analyzing it from this perspective has helped my opinion of it quite a bit as well.
Same. Yeah. No, I'm seeing things and realizing things I never would have seen if you guys had not pointed it out.
Yeah. But yeah, that kind of brings to the close the first section of this Krakoa era.
Yes, and that's going to lead us into the second one, which I will describe in a moment. But before we do we have any other thoughts, closing thoughts at all on X of Swords?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this era that we have been in since the beginning up until now has been the Rise of X era.
Thought it was Dawn of X.
Is it Dawn of X?
I'm pretty sure it's Dawn. Like 90% sure it's Dawn.
I've already ruined my really nice little monologue that I've got going. Never mind. It's Dawn of X. But with the end of X of Swords, Dawn of X is now over, and we are transitioning into what is called the Reign of X. And I'm going to be posting this image in our little chat here, but I'm going to be posting it on our social medias also. As when this final issue came out, Marvel put out a press release and also this image to highlight and show off a little bit about what's coming. And with the Reign of X, as it says here on their website, is the Reign of X will see the forming of new teams, the return of major characters, new threats brought about by classic villains, and more game-changing revelations that will alter the X-Men mythos forever.
All right.
And this is a little bit of our tease here for what Reign of X is going to be. You have a lot of characters on this. You have Storm, you have Emma, you can see in the background what looks like Mad Jim Jaspers, Nimrod. You see Scott and Jean. You also see the team, or at least part of the team, that went into the Children of the Vault down there, as you see Sync and what looks like Laura.
Yeah, what do you think of this image, Sergio?
God, I'm so bad at like extrapolating things out of images and things like that, like teasers. I'm glad to see Iska there. We're going to see some more Iska and Cypher. I like Wolverine with the white suit and an eye patch.
Yes, this is a very old comic persona of Wolverine. That is Patch. That is who he pretends to be in Madripoor. It's identity he assumed when he was supposed to be dead, but it's Wolverine with an eye patch.
As you can tell, no one would know he's Wolverine if he wore an eye patch.
No. I could barely recognize him.
I was like, who's that? I think the Nightcrawler image is very interesting.
I was looking at it, yeah.
Yeah, it is Nightcrawler over here just kind of reading a book, and it's got a, little white X-Men symbol on it.
Yeah. But yeah,
we've got a Storm with a mysterious rhomboid thing.
Yep, mysterious object in her hand.
Uh-huh.
A lot teased here. Just a few little fun tidbits as I was looking into this again. I didn't know this. Apparently, after Reign of X ends, which is this era, They ended up renaming part of it afterwards. So Reign of X normally goes about 13 months, which is the same as Dawn of X. But afterwards, they split it in half. So the first half is called Reign of X, and the second half is called Trials of X.
Yeah.
Which will become very clear why it's called that when we get there.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the split they threw in there. Especially because Reign of X ends up being very long if you don't split it.
It's really, really big. I wrote it down. So Dawn of X has 127 issues up until this point. Reign of X, which lasts the same amount of time, has 152.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of issues that is coming with this new era.
But
There's gonna be plenty of Study of X to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And just for a taste of things to come, our next episode, we will be covering S.W.O.R.D number 1, X-Men number 16, and X-Factor number 5. We're getting a new series.
Woo!
Let's go.
Brand new number 1. I wonder what it's going to be about.
Yeah, I'm going to guess
no
the space station. So we're getting a new writer with this one as well. This is going to be written by Al Ewing. We'll get more into him next time, but just for something you've read, he was one of the writers on Empire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he kind of, gave it a little bit of a tryout there, or not really a tryout, but he did write Empire.
Yeah, I don't really know if I would say the main Empire event was an X-Men thing in any way, but
not really. But with this also is going to be a new reading order that we have put together, and I'll be putting that up on social media really soon after this comes out. We're pretty much going to be following through with all of our comics here. After a little bit, we are going to get another new one. This is going to be Children of the Atom number 1. And unfortunately, right after that, we are going to take a quick break and read King in Black, because there are going to be some X-Men tie-ins to that event.
Yeah. It'll be similar to the Empire episode.
Yes. I hope you like symbiotes and Venom, because that's what it is.
Sounds fun. Yeah.
But all right. Anyone have any closing thoughts here?
Closing thoughts,
okay.
no. Thoughts in general, yes. But that's mostly because I'm very tired.
Chris, hit us with the closers.
All right. I got you. So, if you have made it this far, thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for enjoying this ride with us as we have now finished the first era of Krakoan comics. If you have enjoyed your time with us and would like to help us out, if you could leave us a review on your podcasting app of choice, that would be great. It helps us get out there, find more people to read along with us, and enjoy this absolutely wonderful era of comic books. If you have a question, comments, your thoughts on that cute little green mutant that was falling from the sky, you can send us an email at studyofx@gmail.com, and we might just read it here on the show. If you would like to follow this podcast on social media, you can find it on X, also known as Twitter, on Tumblr, and on Blue Sky under Study of X. Just as a heads up, the Blue Sky account is not as active because you can't schedule posts on there yet, and I always forget to do it. But the other places are a great place to keep track. And if you would like to follow us individually, you can find me at Sawneeks, that is SAWNEEKS, on Blue Sky. I post a little bit there, not too much, but if you need me, that's where I'll be. And if you are looking for Sergio to ask him what he thinks about the mechanics behind Magic's teleportation portals, where can they find you?
So bad news. Shogo sent me into Blightspoke with his Dragonfire.
Ooh.
On the one hand, I really cannot get out of here, but on the other, the Bescoras turned out to be like really friendly, and they are really good cooks. So
Oh, okay, so it kind of works out. We can try sending that really, really cool pirate-looking lady who had the red hat and the really cool gun to try and get you out, but it might be expensive, so it might be a little bit.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, all right. Just make sure you record their recipes so we can try them like we forgot to do with, Glob's recipe that one time.
God, I think about it every so often. I'm gonna end up doing it.
I
gotta
want to
find
as
the
well.
time.
I wrote down the recipe. I was like, I'm going to do this, and just didn't do it.
Okay, well,
Cool. I'm gonna do it. I swear.
Okay, if one of you does it, we're gonna have to open the episode with that.
Okay.
I'll do it before Reign of X.
Okay.
Okay, that gives
Before
you
Reign
a
of
good
X
amount of time.
ends. Yeah.
And Tim, since you are here also discussing food with the Vescora, if you would like to maybe go visit Sevalith, because I've heard Death is there. If people want to join you in going there, where can they find you to ask?
Yeah, they can try to free me because I have been captured because I broke some stuff in the Crooked Market, and I'm in a tiny glass jar thing now.
Ooh, it might be cheaper to get Sergio out of Blightspoke than it would be to get you out of that glass jar, so I think you might be a lost cause.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hope you like being on somebody's desk.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think that's our episode.
I think so too. Alright, thanks for being along with the journey, everybody. Until next time, mutants.
Bye.
Bye.